Dan Geltrude following that. Dan, you reminded me over the many months we were following this that there is a delay effect here before the higher prices and people, are forced to stop pivoting to cheaper cuts of meat when it's going up and all. And there comes a point where they kind of say no mas, and they just don't spend as much, period. Are we at that point?
I think we're getting there, Neil. Look, people can only spend so much, and then you just run out of funds. The issue here is, Neil, and I've said this many times, is that the administration isn't really attacking what the problem is with inflation. Everybody understands it's supply and demand. What are they doing? They're looking to take down demand. When you take down the demand, you start to weaken the economy. This economy is more fragile than you may think. We need to be focused in on the supply side to be able to meet demand. Increasing interest rates in order to take down demand, in order to cool the economy, is not the way to go. But unfortunately, that's the path we seem to be choosing.
I'm just wondering, if you're seeing, eggs go up at a 11+% rate and whole milk at a 12% plus rate, and a lot of meat and dairy prices going at a 20% clip. What difference is a half-point hike in interest rates going to do to mitigate that? What do you think?
Well, it's not going to. Look, the Federal Reserve has been late to this party all the way through. By raising interest rates, Neil, you're talking about cooling off the economy. That's not going to do anything for a gallon of milk or the price of eggs. Yet, when people have to spend more money on those necessities, what happens? They start to cut back on all the other ancillary things that they would normally spend money on. So that's the impact of slowing down the economy, which I truly believe is not the way we should be handling this. This is a policy issue. This is not a Federal Reserve issue.
If you think about it, and we've had the inflation part, but a lot of people who try to draw up parallels to the 1970s, we haven't had the stagflation part, the commensurate slowdown in the economy in response to these higher prices. Do you think that's coming, or it's already starting to happen?
I think we're just starting that process, Neil, especially because the Fed seemed to be on a clear path in raising interest rates. So if we look back of when we were in those days of stagflation and then into recession, what was the path? Inflation going up, up, up. In order to stop that, hit it hard with rising interest rates. By doing that, you slow the economy, but you have all these different consequences to that, and one of those is stagflation. So I do believe we are heading down that path right now. It's not too late to change course. However, we see no indication that we're going to pivot here at all.
As long as we don't go back to the leisure suits, though, Dan. I mean, there's only so much of the 70s we can endure. Dan, thank you very much, my friend. Always great catching up on these economic matters because he speaks English about it, right? All right, meanwhile, we're